You don't see reality. You see your version of it, and not because you're flawed, because you're human. Your brain is constantly filling in gaps, smoothing over details, and making meaning based on what it's learned to look for. That's perception, and it's not the same as truth. It feels true, but it's mostly familiar. See, your mind doesn't like uncertainty. It craves patterns, predictability, so it builds shortcuts, mental templates for what the world should look like. And those templates get built from your past, your upbringing, your culture, your trauma, your beliefs. So when something happens, your mind doesn't ask, what's really going on? It asks, what does this remind me of? And then it reacts based on that memory, not the moment. That's why you can walk into a calm situation and still feel anxious, or receive a compliment and immediately wonder what the catch is. That's not intuition, that's conditioning. You're not responding to what's in front of you. You're responding to what used to be in front of you. This is why two people can witness the same event and walk away with totally different experiences, because neither one is reacting to objective truth. They're reacting to their internal blueprint of how the world works. And when that blueprint is shaped by pain, abandonment, criticism, or fear, well, you start expecting those things everywhere, even in places where they don't actually exist. You expect people to leave, so you push them away before they even get the chance. You expect rejection, so you read it into, just neutral faces. You expect failure, so you end up sabotaging yourself before the test even begins. And here's the trap. The more you expect something, the more you interpret reality in a way that confirms it. This is called confirmation bias, and honestly, it's a hell of a loop. You're not just seeing the world, you're actually reinforcing a version of it, one that might not even be real, but it feels real because, well, it's what you've always known. So let's just pause for a second. What if it's not you that's broken? What if it's the lens you've been handed? What if your perception isn't, truth, but just a habit? One that you've been repeating without even realizing it. Because, when perception becomes habit, we just stop questioning it. We stop asking, is this true? We simply accept it and act accordingly. And honestly, that's where so much suffering really starts. Because instead of responding to what is, we react to what we fear might be. Instead of connecting with others, we prepare to defend. Instead of trusting ourselves, we wait to fail. And instead of allowing joy, we brace for the fall. But here's the shift. You can change how you see, not by pretending the past didn't happen, not by gaslighting yourself with positivity, but by, becoming aware of the filters you're using. Every reaction is a chance to get curious. Is this mine? Is this from now or from then? Is this a real threat or just an old wound? When you bring that level of awareness to your perception, you interrupt the automatic. You create choice. And, choice is where power lives. It's not easy. Rewriting perception means sitting with discomfort. It means realizing that some of your most logical conclusions were built on fear. It means admitting that control was often a coping mechanism. And it means learning to tolerate the unknown without rushing to define it. But it's possible because perception is learned. And anything learned can be unlearned or, rewritten. You don't have to live inside the emotional architecture someone else built. You can knock out the walls, open the windows, let in light. This is the deeper truth. Reality isn't neutral until you make it neutral, until you stop assigning automatic meaning to every tone, every silence, every delay, until you stop filling in the blanks with old fears and, start approaching the moment with new eyes. That's not just healing, that's liberation, because, when you stop confusing perception with truth, you stop reacting to ghosts. You stop reliving the same story over and over again with different characters and different settings. You stop playing defense against a threat that isn't even there. And in that space, something new becomes possible. Presence, peace. And honestly, the ability to experience life for what it actually is, not what you were once afraid it might be. So if things feel hard right now, if you're stuck in self-doubt, self-sabotage, or hypervigilance, pause. Ask yourself, what story am I telling? Whose voice am I hearing? Is this really truth, or just my expectation of pain? Because you're not broken, you're patterned, and you can repattern. That's the power of awareness. That's the first step back to what's real. Not what you've been taught to fear, but what you're finally ready to see.